Welcome everyone to otakusandgeeks.com. Justin and Ashley here. And Ashley, welcome back.
Hello.
And today we are actually doing a joint review because we both over this. First of all, folks, happy holidays for those who celebrate Thanksgiving in the States. On Black Friday, we went to 42nd Street to Stage 42 to see the off Broadway play Dungeons and Dragons The 20-Sided Tavern. And this was absolutely amazing if you're a D&D fan. Just to give you a little bit of a cast list of the cast that we saw, we had Connor Marks, who played our dungeon master in this, and he is best known as Ben Mayer on NBC's New Amsterdam. We had Alex Stompoli. He was the tavern keeper, and this was actually his off Broadway debut. And he has been in such shows such as The Play That Goes Wrong, The Violet Hour, All of Us, The Comedy of Errors, just to name a few. We also had Jasmine Malev. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. She was our mage, and she is a lifelong nerd, longtime immersive actor, and this was also her off Broadway debut, and she did a hell of a job.
Mhm.
And then, of course, we had RJ Christian, who played our warrior, and he has contributed music, lyrics to Ratatouille, TikTok musicals. It can be heard on MacGyver on the MacGyver musical cast album. And he is the co-founder of resident composer for the Hearty Meal Theater Company. So, Ashley,
Oh,
you,
there's one more.
oh,
It
there's
was our
one.
guest.
Oh yes.
So
Oh, you can go
usually,
ahead. You can do.
so
You can do that.
for this special show, they have different people from different D&D shows or who are associated with D&D and other things to come into the show. So for this performance, there was the trickster. So there's three uh classes: warrior, mage, and trickster. The trickster was played by Travis McElroy. So if you've heard of him, he is a podcaster, actor, and a New York Times bestseller author known for The Adventure Zone, one of the first and largest D&D actual play podcasts, My Brother and Me, one of the top comedy podcasts in North America, and a plethora of beloved voice acting roles from Trolls World Tour, Summer Camp Island, and Batman Unburied.
All right, and that is the introduction, so you know who the cast was. So, Ashley, first let's do a little background story. How did you find this play, by the way? Because you called because we were gonna go see
Hell's
Hell's
Kitchen.
Kitchen, but I could not get tickets to that. So Ashley said there was another show that she wanted to see. So how did you find out about the show?
I think it was either through YouTube or through Instagram that I found it. And I thought the premise was interesting because D&D is so much of improvisation that it could, and I mean, you see in the likes of like the Adventure Zone, Critical Role, like all those types of shows that are live, that it can actually work. But I never knew it could go and work at an extent of what we saw it. And so when I saw it, I was like, well, anything with Dungeons and Dragons, I'm already in. And then plus you're adding theater to it, you got me twice. So yeah, I think it was through like watching commercials through like Instagram and stuff. It wasn't as, to be honest, it wasn't as advertised like in just general media,
Mm.
which I think is really interesting.
Yeah, for me, like I'm not a D&D guy. I never played once. She's been trying to get me at least do one session of a game. It just for me, it just looks confusing for me. I'm
It's a lot of math.
It's a lot, yeah, and that's my weakest subject, folks. I
It was
am
mine.
elementary school. I can do basic algebra. That's as far as my math skills goes. I'm the writer. I'm writing science, things like that. That's more my forte. But this was so immersive, and this is something first of all, this is one of the few off road, if any of the off Broadway plays where they even tell you in the beginning, phones are encouraged, folks.
Yes.
You can take pictures, you can record. Obviously, you're not recording to redistribute, but you know, if you want to post little clips here and there, you're able to. But what I liked about it is like when you first go in there, they're giving you out these cards. Well, we didn't make it in time. I guess we didn't make it in. Well, we were there early, but I
I
guess we
don't
didn't
I don't know
get a
why.
card.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think certain participants got certain things to like add. It was
For the
writing
fun villain,
nouns and
yeah.
adjectives.
Yeah.
I don't know why we didn't, but it's fine. But like they would come into the audience, they would see, how folks are doing.
Yeah.
Like Travis, he came through, and he was super sweet. Like people would come up and ask for like autographs. I came up and asked for a picture. Like he
Yeah.
was super
You even
sweet
got
about
it,
it.
and here's the picture right there, folks. So thank you to Travis.
Thank you, Travis. Yeah, it was just it was a great experience, and so you have to use your phone in order to participate. Now you can choose not to participate, but to be honest, I think everyone should.
Yeah.
So charge your phones before you leave the house.
That's what was my issue.
So you will go to this site that they have, you will scan a QR code and will take you to the site. And basically, like they even had a whole pre-show where they to help you understand like the mechanics, you would just answer there's like a question on the screen or a question on your screen on your phone,
Mm.
and then you answer the question on your phone.
Yeah.
And so throughout the entire play, the only thing that was scripted was the story beats. So like NPCs and things of that, like the characters knew, like the actors knew the characters, but they didn't know the name, and they how they interact with them is going to be different each night. We were also told that the consequences from previous nights can affect the one that you're at. And
Yes.
so we were like, oh no. So if someone failed something, or maybe the tavern keeper and DM decided like, well, we're gonna use this chance, whatever happened last night, to carry over to the next night. So that's really
Gives it a
really
continuity
interesting.
too.
Yeah, it does. So to be honest, if you go there multiple nights, you're going to get different results.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to be bored or what the story beats are going to do. Um, and so the tavern keeper, which they call him Stomp because for short, but um he helped the DM with more of like the logistical side
Yeah.
of it. So like with the roles and everything like that. And he's super knowledgeable. Like everybody in the cast is super knowledgeable of D&D. You can tell. Um and it was just really cool how you can see two people in a quote unquote campaign work off of one another and still involve everyone else at the quote unquote table.
Yeah.
And so in our programs, we each got a sticker, which was red, blue, or green.
Hmm.
And so if you got a red sticker, you were a warrior. If you got a blue sticker, you were a mage. And if you got green, you were a trickster.
Yeah.
And so Stomp was like, yeah, these serve a purpose other than you getting free stuff. So like immediately as soon as you hit the door, like everything is just so
The
interactive.
set is gorgeous, by the way.
It's beautiful.
Really beautiful set. Really gorgeous
Set
set.
of my dreams.
Just the way the tavern looks, just the way they were able to immerse the audience with the backdrops, and you can really tell D&D. Like for me, I'm not like I said earlier, I'm not familiar with D&D, but the a lot of the improv of this, you can tell that they have a overview of a script, but that's where the audience participation comes. You actually do dictate where this play is going to go, what direction is going to go by your votes, and that's what Ashley was talking about, the importance of the phone and why the phone is used. The phone is important; it's essential to the play because you, the audience, have to choose the path of the characters.
And I don't want to spoil it from what happened, but I'll just say the choices that the majority of the audience made, it made it could have gone a different way at the end.
Yes. And things went for us. Well, this is not a spoiler because it's like they said, it's going to be different every single time. For us, we kind of had a Dungeons and Dragons Christmas story.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
audience decided to name our villain Santa Claus, and the actors now have to improv that villain, and then they just kind of turned it into this Christmas story, which was it worked for
Well,
some. It really
yeah.
worked.
Well, they set it up so I guess they made it into like post Thanksgiving because it was where we went on Black Friday, so it was just after Thanksgiving. So like the heroes, after the audience from like whatever faction that you got chose what their character was. That's right. You could also choose their characters. Um, then they started saying about like I guess their overall stick was they were chefs or cooks.
Yes.
But the how they set it up was so quick, but it they made it continue on throughout the story and throughout the performance. Um, and so like it was like the mac and cheese was like in the beginning, like they each had to bring three different mac and cheeses, and
Yeah.
so they were in an argument about that in the tavern, and then the adventure began. And like the DM too,
Connor.
Connor, he was so quick witted
Yes. It's
about things.
versatile. Yes.
Also, his accents were on point. I was
Yeah.
jealous.
The way he was able to just switch on a dime from accent to accent, and he played multiple roles throughout the entire play. And the fact that Travis' dad actually got involved too, that was cool to him to play the wizard.
Yeah. So that night or that afternoon, Travis's dad was in the audience and they got him on stage to participate, which was really really cute. But also too, it worked because both of them, Travis and his dad, they're on podcast together.
Yeah.
So about D&D.
And
And he was a game for it. Like he was in it.
he went full wizard.
Hmm.
She did
He
the
was
accent
in
and
it.
everything else. But I mean, overall, folks, I will have to say, production wise, really good. The fact that they had this big, giant 20 die that they were able to roll. There was audience participation. I know some of you wonder, like, are we just participating through votes? No, no. If you're lucky
You get on
enough,
stage.
you can get on stage, and there's some segments where the audience can participate on stage. A couple of games that they were able to play. But you are naming the characters. Mostly, they'll choose somebody, or you could just be like one of that guy who just shouted it out. And it was just like, we're just gonna take you.
The screen though.
Yeah, the screen
The
was
screen was really interactive too.
yes,
So I also want to give a shout out to my techies out there
yeah,
because they don't get enough love. Like the light design, the sound design, and then like the screen design and everything that they did, like technology wise, was so innovative
mm,
and it was so good.
yeah,
And the fact that because it's mostly improv, that they're able to do that on a whim and
yeah.
on a fly was really really
And the
good.
fact they had to draw like the
Oh
robot
yeah.
arm because that wasn't really part of the show,
Yeah.
and it was just like, well, someone said it, so I guess we gotta include it in. So
So
they
like
drew it
also
quickly.
there was like I guess there was a rule and they kept saying throughout the night that like Daddy Hasbro was watching us so we can't really make a mistake here. There was a part where a rule was kind of looked over and so our tavern keeper had to be like I'm so sorry but we have to go with like the rules and the way that Connor was like no I had him. We almost had a TPK, which if for those of you who don't know, TPK means total party kill.
Mm,
So I thought we were done
done.
for
Yeah.
by the end of the show, but it was great. So yeah, the tech was amazing. Um, just the and also too the theater was just really pretty.
Yes, it was.
It was small and intimate, but it you could still see the s- the stage from any angle,
Mm.
and it was just it felt cozy. It felt like you were in a tavern.
So what would you give? So we're gonna wrap this up and give it our rating. So our ratings here when it comes to theater obviously is go see it, wait for a promo or sale, or I'll say full price, wait for promo or sale, or just skip it. I'm definitely gonna give this full price. Go see it immediately. Especially
Go see it.
if you're a D&D fan, even if you're not, it is a good time. And even if you're someone who like me who doesn't know the rules and things like that, the great thing about D&D is you're making your own lore.
Yes.
So you're able to just pick up right from the beginning. And they also explain while the show's preparing. If you read the screen, what INT stands for, STR, of course, intelligence, strength. They break down the abilities and things like that. So you're not even if you're not well versed in like the fantasy genre, you're gonna have a bloody good time.
Hmm. And I also say to go see it. Also, too, the ticket prices were not bad. We also, granted, we also went on a day, on a holiday, technically. But we went in the afternoon, so they do have matinees, and then also too, they have different special guests. So if you look through, Erica Ishii is gonna be coming in after Travis. in a couple of weeks. So she has like a couple of weeks here for the show. So there's other DMs or other players that you've seen like from Dimension 20 or Critical Role that if you go on their website to see, you'll see them. But I definitely recommend that everyone go, whether you're a D&D fan or not. The tickets again are not bad for the experience that you get, because I feel like we should have been they should have been compensated more for what they have accomplished.
Yes.
So please fill in those seats.
Definitely. And we are going to wrap up this review of Dungeons and Dragons, the 20-sided tavern off Broadway play. It is playing at stage 42, folks. So if you're in New York City, definitely check this out. This is Justin and Ashley. And don't forget, folks, if you like what we do here, hopefully we earn your subscription. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Helps out the channel. If you did see this play, comment below and let us know what your thoughts are. Ashley, you could take us out.
All right, later days.
That's my line.
It's mine now.